to the webinar on redefining service excellence. I trust everyone is having a fantastic day today. We are blessed with the lovely weather here in Georgia today. It's nice outside. My name is Harikiran, and I'm thrilled to see so many of you joining us today from different corners of the world. It's wonderful to have you with us today as we explore the cutting edge developments transforming service management in the manufacturing sector. Before we get started, I want to go over a few housekeeping details to ensure everyone has a smooth experience here. The webinar is being recorded and a copy will be emailed to you post the event. We encourage you to submit any questions you have during the presentation through the Zoom Q&A feature. We'll address as many questions as we can during the Q&A segment at the end of the webinar. If you experience any technical difficulties, please let us know in the chat and our team will assist you as soon as possible. Okay, today we are going to explore the evolving landscape of industrial digital transformation, focusing on how Salesforce Manufacturing Cloud and Tavant Service Lifecycle Management solutions are redefining service excellence in manufacturing. We'll also delve into Kawasaki's success story, highlighting the practical benefits and strategic advantages they achieved, and discuss how you can elevate your operations. We are privileged to have an incredible lineup of speakers today. First, we have Anthony Gondick, Senior Manager of IT Strategy at Kawasaki Engines USA. Tony has been instrumental in transforming Kawasaki's service operations into a customer-focused powerhouse, leveraging innovative technologies. Next, we welcome Nanda Chitrala, Senior Director of Industry Solutions and Product Strategy at Salesforce. Nanda brings a deep understanding of how digital solutions can drive business success in manufacturing. Lastly, myself, Harikiran Mannem, Director of Product Management at Tavant. I bring over 2 decades of expertise in building service lifecycle solutions for our manufacturing customers. Without further delay, let's dive into today's session. I will hand it over to our first speaker. Tony, over to you.
All right, thank you, Hari. So for Kawasaki Engines using Manufacturing Cloud, our use case really centered around replacing a really heavily used and growing complicated Excel spreadsheet. It had been used for many years and the business needed a way to move off of that physical file, which took many months to update whenever business conditions or market conditions had changed. We wanted to start to utilize a more automated and cloud-based solution that could modernize our business processes, but also provide all of that data to both our sales and service side of our business operations teams. Because we needed to modernize the business planning cycle, capture all of the tribal knowledge of those who built the Excel file, ease communications within all of the teams involved in this process, and improve consistency in the data that we shared with our manufacturing plant, Salesforce's Manufacturing Cloud really provided the platform for us to do just that. Implementing Manufacturing Cloud was the easy part. During the life cycle of this product, there's been plenty of relevant updates, plenty of documentation and assistance provided by both vendors and the Salesforce team to help my particular team install Manufacturing Cloud. From installation to updates and customizations, I've been able to maintain that product with just a team of 2, 1 developer and 1 Salesforce administrator. The biggest obstacle, though, that we faced in taking on this challenge was really taking a decades-old sales process and updating it to work with this new platform. We started with the sales agreements feature, but found that it really wouldn't work within our particular sales process. We then moved to advanced forecasting when that became available, And through some minor customizations, the Salesforce product worked really well. And through compromises made within our sales process, we were able to use that feature and make it all work. And so far, we've seen it work very successfully by our sales and sales coordination teams. Where we find ourselves today then with Manufacturing Cloud is that we've gotten away from the Excel spreadsheet. So that is mission accomplished. And our OEM sales teams are now seeing faster and improved forecasted demand for all of our products. We're also getting more accurate projections from our direct customers, and we're bringing all of that data together in very easy to understand visualizations. When you're talking thousands of rows of data across multiple product lines, having an easy way to tell the story of success, to visualize your sales processes and your agreements, and being able to understand all of that data across multiple teams is important. And I'm happy to say that we can do that. We're also seeing improved and consistent communications now going to our manufacturer. Because we have all of that data combined, we are providing them improved visibility into our needs, and they are reflecting that into their production line staffing. So they know what we are going to be ordering. They know the demand on our products and what they need to plan for over each of the sales periods. Because of all of that improved visibility and data, our sales projections are now improving and we're better able to react to market conditions. But we're here to talk about what the future state looks like. And for Kawasaki Engines, we see AI continuing to grow and develop in this space. It has been a phenomenal journey for AI over the last 18 months, and we only expect it to go faster and grow more, providing productivity and efficiency gains in such platforms like Manufacturing Cloud, and providing valuable time back in our day. We are not expecting AI to take over and replace staffing, but to provide those efficiency gains so that we can focus on the more critical aspects of our business. We're also investigating how we're going to take this consolidated manufacturing data and integrate it into tighter connections with our service teams. By having the complete view of a product lifecycle with a fuller view of data across all of our product lines and combining that with the customer data that we gather, this will help both our customer care and our field service teams provide what we feel is going to be more customer-centric interactions. When we can start to utilize all of the proactive maintenance data that's available to us, combine that with the product data, we feel we can reduce the customer downtime and provide more of the proactive customer-focused products and services that our customers expect from Kawasaki. So I'll close with this last statement. With this path that the technology is on, we feel that the future looks very bright indeed for manufacturers in this space. And with that, I'll turn it over to Nanda.
Thank you so much, Tony. Hi, everyone. Nanda Chitrala. Such an incredible journey. And, it's not an easy task to move the entire business into a standardized platform from applications like Excel. So kudos to all of your team and thank you for being a trailblazer. Truly, excited to work with the Kawasaki team. So as Tony alluded to, the various capabilities and functionalities that are offered from sales agreements and forecasting standpoint. So if we really step back and look at how we started with this journey from a manufacturing perspective, as you all know, Salesforce has always been a horizontal application with the likes of Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, Commerce. And then as we continue to expand our portfolio, getting into the Mule, the Data Cloud, Slacks of the world, what was also important for us to make sure that we are in our swim lanes, in our guardrails. And whenever we talk about manufacturing, we've been very precise in terms of how we continue to expand and innovate across what has been traditionally the customer facing and then the partner facing capabilities of what Salesforce has to offer. And then what we did through the course is we not only expanded beyond sales agreements and forecasting from a modernized commercial operations standpoint, but we are now starting to transform the entire product to cash process as well. So as you introduce a product from a tools like PLM, as you think about what are all the various configuration, pricing, and quoting mechanisms that needs to be driven through an agreement, and how you continue to drive more and more profitability margins. So that has been that continues to be a primary focus on that space. But what we are also cognizant of is the entire service experience, how we continue to transform the entire service experience. And this is where partners like Tavant has been helping us tremendously move the whole vision of how we continue to drive that end-to-end service lifecycle management. So we've already rolled out various capabilities last year through the likes of Asset Console, trying to drive the various warranty lifecycle managements. And then Tavant truly helps us, take it to the next level. So that way, you as an individual industry and customer can actually be very confident to continue to drive the speed to market and the innovation that is achieved. So the bottom two solution plays are equally important, especially when we look at it from a manufacturing lens. The entire partner ecosystem, whether you're a direct, going through direct channels or indirect channels through dealers or distributors or any kind of service providers, all these partners, they continue to expect the same kind of experience, the same kind of self-service motive that's also available across the board. And that's where through the Simplify partner engagement, a lot of it, we are starting to open up, whether it be it agreements, forecasting, raising warranty claims, trying to look at your own asset, and then being able to identify what are all the various subscriptions that are part of this asset. So all the gamut of things, starts opening up in a self-served manner. And then finally, just a couple of days ago, we've also released our translate data into insights and actions solution play. So this is that solution play which actually cuts across various solutions with the likes of the data cloud, the entire integration accelerators that we've built, the out-of-the-box analytics, and icing on the cake is with Einstein 1 AI coming into play as to how it can transform the entire world. So this is in short, what are all the various solution plays that are offered. Today, we are going to deep dive into the transform service experience piece. Hari, if you can move to the next slide. So this is just to quickly level set, and I'm sure many of you on the call could correlate it to your own individual industries, and some of it could be more priority for you versus the others. But essentially, these are like the common trends that we continue to see transforming across the manufacturing service functions. So as I mentioned, there's always this rising expectations as to, more and more technology evolution is made available. Now everyone would like to see the right data at the right time for the right persona, right? In order to be more and more effective and be able to drive, several transactions. Now it's not going to be easy with this complex ecosystem that we are in, with various players that are going to be part of it, and with also several connected products that are going to be out there. And that number is growing day by day. Every customer, depending upon your type of industry, whether you're a heavy industrial manufacturer to electrical equipment manufacturer to automotive supplier. So there's more and more demand to drive service-based revenue models. And these service-based revenue models could be not only the initial sale of the product, but predominantly the entire aftermarket sales, the extended warranties, service contracts, and then the new subscription models that are out there. So every manufacturer, based on our conversations, what we observe is that the profit margins, if you were to sell a product, is lower compared to the profit margins when you were to sell a service-based subscription or a service-based revenue model, right? And that's where the entire industry is headed towards. How do I continue to convert my cost center into a profitable center So that way I can drive from being a reactive service function to a proactive and predictive service function. Next slide. All right. Thank you. So in order to do that, what is equally important is all this while Salesforce has been focused on how do we continue to drive the customer 360, right? Customer being in the center. How do we reach to your customer? How do you know who your customer is of your asset? But then what is equally important is both the sides of looking at it from product and asset. And this is where it's important how you unify all of this data together. So product, what are all the various products that have been sold? What is the product performance that has been the entire pricing history? So that way you can continue to drive more and more profitable growth and increase your profit margins only for the products which are actually, moving fast. Now on the right-hand side is where once a product is being sold to the customer and it has its install base, oftentimes the challenges that we hear from customers is, hey, I don't even know where my asset is installed today. I don't know the location. Sometimes I don't know who the end customer is because it might be changing multiple hands already. So, and then more importantly, the entire service history that goes in. As and when there are warranty claims that are applied, the part swaps that are applied on it. So it's important to understand what is my single source of truth, what is my golden record of an asset, to be able to drive not only the maximum value, the lifetime value for the customer, but also continue to drive more and more upsell and cross-sell. So that has been the vision of how we continue to drive on this. And then this is where, next slide, Hari. So this is exactly where Manufacturing Cloud has started deepening a lot of its asset-centric capabilities. So most of you might be familiar with what has been offered in the standard Sales Cloud, field service offerings, which is standardizing the entire customer inquiries that are coming in through case management, knowledge management, and continue to drive and streamline the various mobile field operations. However, what is equally important and we are cognizant of is the entire complex ecosystem of how you continue to deep dive into the various asset-centric processes, again, whether be it warranty claims, lifecycle management, supplier recovery, or dealing with service contracts, dealing with returns management. A lot of these capabilities are important to go in deep and also at the same time provide that flexibility for you as a customer. And what is important is with all the data that's out there, and I've read several articles recently, which actually talked about the amount of data that manufacturers generate. It's actually twice as much as any other industry, right? That gives you the insight as to the whole potential that manufacturers have, how they can apply the data and the AI on top to be able to drive more and more proactive and predictive services across their assets. And that's the inception. Next slide, Hari. Thanks. So that's where, when we look at it from what do we mean by an asset service lifecycle management? It's the entire value chain of how the asset goes through the various transformations and various stages, all the way from the time when it is delivered, installed, set up, whether it's movable asset or immovable asset. But then how do you continue to track, okay, who's the end customer of it, the entire product registration, what's the entire asset hierarchy? Sometimes the assets might actually have a different, shape from as manufactured to as installed, and then as it is continued to be maintained with several service operations that go on. So how do you make sure that you're continuing to track all these various stages of the asset? Next is, if there are assets that are connected, how do you ensure that you are actually capturing all these events which are to be actionable in nature, whether it's a warning error or whether it's a warning event or a error event? It could be an engine oil leak situation. So what kind of actions should you be taking? Should you send an SMS, send an email, perhaps create a case, or maybe create a work order for emergency situations and dispatch a technician? So all the kind of actions that needs to be taken on a connected asset is an important element. From an entitlements perspective, Warranties, of course, continues to be table stakes with so much of warranty leakage that continues to happen across several manufacturers. How do you continue to not only keep track of the various claims, but more importantly, how do you make sure that this data is used to continue to improve the overall quality of the products? And then with all the commercial service contracts that are in place, it is important to understand and track entitlements as to whenever I'm trying to estimate or a quote on a particular repair, how do I know at any given time what is the exact cost that needs to be paid by the customer? What is covered under warranties? What is covered under service contracts, or if there are any other entitlements, and coming up with a net estimate and quote is an important element. And then we continue to grow through the various stages, bringing in inventory visibility, the work order estimation pieces, and returns management. And even at the bottom, the service campaigns, like how do you continue to drive the various recalls, upgrades, upsells, and cross sells. So if you really zoom out and look at it, this is kind of the vision, right, of how we look at it from the end-to-end asset lifecycle perspective. So with that, I'll hand it over to Hari to take it forward with how Tavant enhances what Manufacturing Cloud already offers with the various solutions and accelerators that are on board. Over to you, Hari.
Yeah. Thanks, Nanda. Thanks, Tony, for the insight. Here, I'm going to talk about how Tavant, being a summit-level Salesforce partner and a leader in SLM space, 2 decades of expertise add value. Right, Tavant Service Lifecycle Management suite of products is a perfect complement to Manufacturing Cloud, enhancing your value of your investment in Manufacturing Cloud. Again, Tavant brings a lot of accelerators, differentiators that easily enabled on the Manufacturing Cloud. Here you can see some of the accelerators we bring in, like extended warranty audit, quality management, and advanced analytics. Again, right, we implement all the Salesforce Manufacturing Cloud for sales and service and bring our accelerators. I'm also going to talk to our game-changing accelerator T-Core in the next slide, which enables a faster deployment of the Manufacturing Cloud and how it enables our accelerators to be deployed on top, and also provides a future visibility into future features that Manufacturing Cloud is bringing that can be enabled right away. If you look at some of the features like extended warranty here, right, our accelerator here enables you to configure different extended warranty and maintenance contracts, assign them to the assets. Again, these contracts are seamlessly integrated into the service asset console where you can see them. This module also enables you to intelligently price the contracts, how much you should be pricing your contracts, what cost you should be selling. Again, it takes into a lot of factors of your customer satisfaction, your product quality, your product performance. It takes into a lot of things into factor in determining how much you should be selling your contract, extended warranty or maintenance contract. And this module also enables capturing those claims as well as providing you insights into your profitability of those contracts. When it comes to warranty audit, again, right, this module enables you to audit your dealers, your technicians, your work orders, provide a workflow for audit process start to end. Again, here we have advanced AI capabilities that determine which dealers to be audited, which technicians to be audited, how frequently they need to be audited. Again, right, if you look at a technician filling work order, and it kind of determines whether those parts are required for the repair, or those is the labor amount right on the work order. It uses all of these factors, looks at the average of across all the similar repairs and determines which dealers or which technicians or which orders to be audited. When it comes to quality management, our quality management module enables you to create product quality requests, solve them through 8D process or Six Sigma process, and identify the quality issues ahead of time. Again, right, quality management module have an AML model that kind of segregates all the similar quality issues across different models, identifies them ahead of time, and even creates a PQR request automatically for the quality team to go through them and solve them. Again, right, we Tavant go more of an advanced data-based analytics into the picture. It's all data-driven solutions. Again, we bring in a lot of advanced analytics, the suspicious claims, your warranty clusters, parts forecasting, code predictions. For example, if your technicians are filling out work orders or claims, and based on the comments they are entering on the work order or on the claims, the system can determine what should be the quality codes. It determines where are the actual failure areas rather than what technician is just pulling from the drop down or entering whatever they think is the right one. The system is going to determine what are the actual quality codes, where are the actual quality issues coming. As I mentioned, we have our Tavant accelerator, T-Core. T-Core brings in what we call object agnostic model. What it does is, for example, right now, manufacturing cloud is expanding at a very rapid pace. As Nanda showed, a lot of features are being added at every release. But as a customer, if you want to implement the manufacturing cloud as it is, and you want to have Tavant accelerators, as well as some of the features which might be in the manufacturing cloud roadmap, you want to implement them right away. With T-Core, we can implement those features for you right away. We will build the UI components, procedures, and we'll bring our custom objects there. And when and where the Salesforce brings those functionalities, brings those as functionalities as standard objects into the releases, all we have to do is we have to just do a configuration change, mapping change, saying that from this day onwards, all this functionality should point you to the standard object. And you don't have to redo all the functionalities again. You don't have to reconfigure the manufacturing cloud again for the new features. It's already you have built in. You just have to change the mapping, change the configuration, and you are good to go. So this way, we are enabling all the features right away for you, for your business to solve your problems, rather than wait for all the features that are all coming in the future releases. Next, I'm going to talk about our Tavant models, AML models. Again, right, with 24 years of experience building all these models for our customers. They're very well-defined models that solve different problems for our customers. With warranty AA model, I think I mentioned about earlier, suspicious claims. Again, it identifies what information is wrong in the claim. Is the claims being submitted just before the end of warranty, or is the dealer trying to, the technicians putting more parts than required for the repair, or they're putting more labor? So it kind of identifies all the different factors in the claim suspicion and scores the claim so that you can reduce your warranty spend. You can look at the claims and pay only for the claims that you need to shoot for. And with the code predictions, as I spoke here earlier, again, based on what the technicians is entering on the work orders or claims, these models identify those tech comments, does do a natural language processing, and identifies what are the actual codes that needs to be put on the claims. So this is going to help your quality team identify actually what are the quality issues and how to fix them faster. And with the price.ai module, we kind of have different pricing strategies on how you price your parts. We look at your competitor pricing analysis, look at market, look at your, again, product behavior in your customer satisfaction. All of these factors come into to understand how you should price your parts. And how do you, again, price them for the cross-selling and upselling. With the field.ai, we provide Copilot for the field engineers. It looks at all your manuals, it looks at cases, the claims data, and tells them how a problem should be fixed and what are the steps they need to take to fix it, right? It kind of it brings in all the information for them. It intelligently recommends what parts they use and how they should fix the issue. With the knowledge AI, we bring in all the data again, right? For your call center people, when they get a call from a customer, knowledge AI is going to look at all your manuals, look at all your videos, structured and unstructured data, look at the data from your cases, look at the data from the customer, look at the data from the claims, and it's going to guide them and help them solve the customer issue in first go, reducing the number of times they have to contact the customer or reach out to different departments within the company to answer those questions. So they will have everything upfront. Here we are using the Gen AI to enable those information for the call center people. With the Connect AI, here we are capturing all the IoT data and predicting a failure upfront, telling the dealer or technician that there is going to be failure happening, how they can do a predictive maintenance to reduce the failures. And also, again, we use this information also to identify when to cross-sell or when to identify the life cycle of the machine or unit and how they can upsell or cross-sell to their customers to replace those units. On the quality AI, again, we capture all the data from claims, from cases, from the IoT and everything, and identify the early warning signals, group them into machine clusters, and tell them the quality department to create those PQRs, do the 8D process or Six Sigma process, and fix those things. And again, this identifies and tells you if a recall has to be enabled, and it auto generates those recalls and the bulletins for those recalls when it comes. Again, each module talks to the other modules here. The quality AI talks to the knowledge module to generate those bulletins for the recalls and all. With the contract AI, again, right, we define. Again, I spoke earlier how you define your maintenance contracts, how you define your extended warranty contract. What should be covered in those contracts? How much you should price those contracts? It looks at, again, right, are your contracts doing profitable or not? What should change it to make them profitable? How much you will sell it for contracts? Again, here I want to give a brief description of Tavant. Again, Tavant has 24 years of experience building service lifecycle management solutions. We are both a Salesforce, SI and ISV partner. We have our own accelerators, but we also implement Salesforce services, manufacturing cloud, auto cloud, deploy them. Being a summit level partner, we have a huge expertise, expert team members to do these things. And we work with all the major industries like roofing, automobile, HVAC, consumer electronics, ag, and construction industries. As you can see, Tavant has been as a leader. IDC has recognized as a leader for warranty service management applications. We are a major player in service lifecycle management and a major player in service parts planning applications. I think we can delve into the Q&A right now. Tony, I have a few questions for you. What is the importance of domain expertise when deploying industry cloud solutions? And how does specific domain knowledge benefit over a more generalized approach?
Oh, that is a tough question for an afternoon here in Michigan, but I'll do my best to answer this. So obviously this is going to be my point of view only. So the first question is the importance of domain expertise. I think it is important to the level of at least understanding the domain solution that you're trying to sell to a business partner. But understanding that, at least from a manufacturing point of view, not everyone is going to be as technically skilled as you are in IT. So you have to balance your domain expertise and be empathetic to the end user so that you don't overwhelm them. So you need to have enough knowledge to be able to answer questions, to sell the idea, and show the value and benefit, the return on investment for that solution without putting the end user to sleep. We run into that situation all the time as emerging technologies always come out. Understanding how ChatGPT or generative AI is going to impact our line of business and our industry. Sharing that knowledge and sharing those ideas with the end users is a very delicate balance. Now, the second part, how does specific domain knowledge benefit over more generalized approach? Again, this is my point of view. I would much prefer to have a generalized approach to all pieces of work. It's good to be very specific or have specific knowledge, but I feel like that constrains your abilities. You are an expert in one area and one area only. And what we have seen within our business is a technology, a domain technology, doesn't just span one topic. It goes across multiple business units. It goes across different teams. It goes across different systems. So if you're very specific, then you need to spend more money to expand that knowledge. You need to pull in other vendors, other third-party providers to be able to help you bridge those gaps. Whereas a more generalized approach, you know a little bit about everything. And so you can generate different ideas for jumping across systems and creating solutions that benefit a much larger audience. So hopefully that gets to the context of your question. If not, and we've got some time, you can always pose a clarifying question in the chat.
No, thanks, Tony. I have a question for you, Nanda. What is the Salesforce strategy in manufacturing service and SLM?
So we have actually quite a few customers from an adoption perspective. So just to give context to everyone, so we have, two offerings from an industry perspective. One is the manufacturing cloud. The other one is the auto cloud, which is more tailored for the auto segments. I do understand some of the autos kind of, fall into the manufacturing segment as well. At the end of the day, this is all manufacturing, but it's predominantly focused on whether you're catered to more B2B world versus a B2C world, right? So auto tends to have more, B2C direction, especially when we look at it from both OEMs and as well as from a dealer lens, targeted towards the end consumers. But nonetheless, when we started, so the way it stands today, so manufacturing cloud has been growing almost 40 to 50% year over year. And we have at this stage, we have more than 800 customers that are part of it. Of course, again, thanks to Tony for Kawasaki being the beachhead for us and really driving it and helping us co-innovate on that one. But we do have quite a few customers, especially on the auto side, lot of big OEMs like, Honda, Toyota, we have GM, we have Stellantis. So pretty much all of them, they have converted into auto cloud today. When we talk about discrete manufacturing, again, with the likes of, Kawasaki, we also have quite a few customers like Cummins, we have Eaton. In the heavy industrial space, we also have Komatsu, we have Caterpillar. And then on the process manufacturing, we also have the customers like Exalta, Imeris, Hirose Electric. There's quite a few customers, a lot of them who have already embarked into the journey and they've already started expanding into their functionality, depending upon, their maturity levels.
Thanks, Nanda. I think there is a follow-up question on that. Can you share some information about the adoption of specific manufacturing cloud capabilities versus industry segments like auto, discrete, process, industrial?
Yeah, as I was saying, just piggybacking on what I just mentioned, there's been a lot of adoption. Again, this all depends on where each of the customers are in their journey and life cycle. So as you heard from Tony, how the evolution started from sales agreements to reaching out to the forecasting. So similarly, we have quite a few customers who have actually expanded, starting from sales agreements, forecasting again from a sales use cases perspective, but then coming on to the service side, they've started leveraging the various asset-centric capabilities that are offered from an asset service console standpoint. There are few customers who have also started, leveraging the warranty capabilities as well, and then continuing to partner with Tavant, where they could continue to expand further from an accelerators perspective. And then we also have, quite a few capabilities that are also lined up in the roadmap as well. So a lot of our customers are very excited. We've actually had quite a few customers who have seen the value and who wanted to embark onto this journey.
Next question for Tony. How has industry-specific cloud technology helped accelerate your business vision?
Oh, that's another great question. So I'll start this by saying that the manufacturing industry is not always known to be on the emerging edge of technology. A lot of manufacturers carry a lot of technical debt where profits and revenue are generally put towards product development and product marketing rather than IT. So where I found myself in my journey with Salesforce at the very beginning was, how do we reduce that technical debt? How do we enable services for our customers and create technology for our employees that allows us to be available anywhere and everywhere that the customer needs us to be, and across all different platforms? I'm happy to say that cloud technology really allowed us to reduce the number of devices that we have to carry on the road for our sales team and our service teams. It has allowed us to have a centralized repository of data where we can access it no matter where we're at on any device that we choose to use. So we have sales teams now that are using smart devices, smartphones, tablets, to be able to proactively look at accounts before they do site visits. All of that is available through the cloud technologies that we've chosen. And we know that those are going to continue to grow and mature. Generative AI is going to increase. So as I mentioned in my presentation, we see a lot of potential success for manufacturers in this space because technology is finally coming to a level where the industry, the manufacturing industry as a whole, can make that leap into more modern technology and reduce a lot of the aged technical debt that they have.
Thank you, Tony. Next question for you, Nanda. How does Salesforce think about working with partners like Tavant as Salesforce start developing their own native functionality?
Yeah, so like as Tony was mentioning, it's definitely an interesting question, because I mean this happens all the time, right? If you think about the amount of partner ecosystem that Salesforce has grown, and Salesforce values our entire partner ecosystem and believes that this is exactly where customers get the most comprehensive solutions that are needed, right? Which matches with their use cases. So Tavant has been a tremendous partner just because Salesforce started investing natively in our own warranty management capabilities. That does not mean that we are going to cover the entire ground, right? Because Tavant has been out there for more than 20 years, gained a lot of experience, knowledge in terms of how each customers, the segments, the complexities that are, that are involved. So it's going to be a huge journey. And that's where the accelerators with the likes of T-Core, why we are so excited about these solutions is because this would actually give you that bridgeway as to how Salesforce evolves. And then as, customer requirements evolves, Tavant accelerators would really help you bridge that gap and really get closer to being 100% to your customer needs. But more importantly, keeping the speed to market and speed to configurability in mind, right? And that's where these solutions are, there's always going to be that gap that as and when Salesforce keeps releasing it, and that's what we always work hand in hand with our partners as well, as to, we kind of keep them abreast with what we are thinking about, where we are headed towards from a product perspective. So that way, solutions like Tavant can also plan their accelerators and the roadmaps accordingly, because at the end of the day we are all here to make sure that we are serving the customer needs.
Okay. Thank you. I think with time in mind, I'll have one last question, and then if any of the questions are not answered, we'll reach out to you after the webinar and try to connect and answer you ones. Again, this is for Nanda. What is the Salesforce AI strategy in the manufacturing industry?
Yeah, so as you know, Salesforce, and you'll be hearing a lot more in all the world tours and events as well. So the data cloud and AI with the whole concept of data, AI, CRM will continue to be the focus point for us. And we truly believe that as long as you have the entire customer 360, the entire asset lifecycle information, the entire product information, and even if you have the ability to be able to access, whether be it even if it's a zero copy ETL or through a data virtualization mechanism, have access to it, applying AI is going to bring tremendous value in it. So we've already started investing on various use cases. So we're going to pilot the sales agreement co-pilot from a Gen AI use case standpoint starting this summer, and it is scheduled to go GA. We are also starting to look into how we can do intelligent search from a service campaigns perspective and recall situations, as to how Gen AI can really help you. Say, for example, you have a particular part, and if that part is obsoleted due to a supplier swap, or maybe it could be a recall situation, right? A particular part is completely discontinued. So how do you go about and find out what are all the various assets that are associated to that particular part, and then continue to drive more and more outreach, and then create that actionable events? So those are some of the use cases that we've been starting to venture into from an AI perspective, right? But again, you have the platform, you have the power of the platform. We do have quite a few customers who have already embarked into the journey, even to start with from a POC perspective, to be able to identify how with the existing functionality, because there's quite a few things like prompt builder, model builder, so you can bring in your own LLMs. There's quite a few functionality now that's being made available.
Thanks, Nanda. Again, I just want to mention that, again, the data cloud enables us to bring our models where Tavant can bring all the models that we have spoke about, and it enables that zero copy federation approach to data, so that we are not making data copies or duplicates and managing the storage cost. And our models, right, seamlessly integrate with data cloud and provide those insights and predictions into the manufacturing cloud.
Hari, I think
Okay.
I do see maybe one more question on
Okay,
the.
I might have missed 1 second. Okay.
So there is a for question. Maybe I'll go ahead and address it real quick.
Okay, sure.
So it talks about how does forecasting, demand planning from manufacturing cloud differentiate from capabilities provided by ERP and best of the breed planning vendors? Because this is definitely a standard question and mostly asked question whenever we talk about demand planning and forecasting. I think one thing to note there, and I would actually start off addressing that. we are definitely not here competing with the enterprise demand planning and forecasting tools, right? Which are a lot more comprehensive, which looks at it from the entire raw materials planning, the supply chain planning, the materials planning, and then the plant, side of the planning and forecasting piece. What Salesforce is good at is from a sales funneling perspective, right? Because the sales teams are the ones who are interacting with the customers and the partners. So they are the first point of contacts when it comes to identifying the demand and identifying the trends of the shift in demand. So what Salesforce through the manufacturing cloud is offering is that sales forecasting funnel, right? So that way, all the sales teams can actually go about and try to identify, okay, what is my forecast, what's my customer demands, and how is the schedule changing, month over month, every month. And then depending upon, which particular product, which plants have any shortages, and so on and so forth. So trying to bring all of that from a collaboration perspective together, and then feed all that information back into whatever is your enterprise, demand planning and forecasting tool is. So we are not talking about this replacing any of the existing back office solution.
And Nanda, if I could add to that from an end user or customer perspective, one of the things that we've noticed between Salesforce and our ERP system is that the ERP was not built for the customizations that we needed in the algorithms and the mathematical computations for the forecasting and demand planning. In addition, the ERP did not have the ability to tell the full story of that product life cycle along with the customer sales history and combine those two together. It was built to just display data. So you miss out on a lot of context and a lot of the story that your products can tell and that your sales can tell. That's really where the strength of Salesforce is in combining all of that and making all of that data understandable.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you for the addition.
Thank you, Tony.
Back.
Yep. I think that summarizes all the questions we have. I want to take this opportunity to thank our speakers for their invaluable insights today. And thank you all for joining us. We hope you find this session informative and inspiring. You'll receive an email with a link to the recording and further resources. We look forward to seeing you at future events, and you can contact us for any questions. Again, have a great day.